Welcome to the mukbang. What happened?
I panicked.
And then he died.
I'm crying.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tattoo Cuties. I'm your host, Sav, and I'm here today with a cutie who tattoos, Molly.
Hey.
Molly was my apprentice, and honestly, I think you'd be great for a podcast because you talk so much.
I be yapping. I be yapping for sure.
Yeah, so this will be a really good thing for you to do.
Thanks. I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like a backhanded compliment.
A little bit.
I like to razz Molly. It's
Razz is the light term, I think.
wow, yeah. But old habits die hard. She was my apprentice, so sometimes she still gets a little of the apprentice treatment.
The elbows and the ribs a little bit, you know?
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Just a tad.
Yeah, I thought it'd be really good to have Molly on the second episode since she's kind of been through a lot with me. We have some good stories between the two of us to share.
Loads.
Loads. I wouldn't say loads, but we got some stories. I think one thing I thought would be fun for us to talk about too is our era of TikTok fame. That's
We were
when
big.
we were big.
We were big, baby.
Yeah, for like a hot minute. We had our like shoop shoop like that. Yeah, it was even weird because I remember when you and I went to the Seattle tattoo show and we got recognized. Someone came up to our booth and was like, I love your guys' TikToks.
I've seen your TikToks. And then all of the TikToks that we did, like, rushed through my brain. And I was like, which one? Because I hope it's not a couple of them.
Yeah, some of them are not very child friendly. But yeah, and it was also kind of like, oh shit, we're starting to get recognized for like dumb TikTok videos rather than tattoo work.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal.
Yeah, but I think in this like day and age, like the hustle of internet and social media, you have to kind of now play into the social media gimmick.
Yeah,
I mean, we
might
did.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's free advertisement. You're showing that you're personable and like you can be approached and you're fun, and like if your tattoo work is good on top of that, then it's like a bonus, right? So
Yeah, it's just exhausting. And it's not what I want to do. Like, it was really fun when we did it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed making all those TikToks, but like, I also was like, I'm good now, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to do dance monkey dance. I just also want to go back to tattooing.
Yeah.
So we both have like stopped. We haven't made TikToks in a long time.
It's also easy to get like tapped out creatively because like so many people started making similar TikToks.
Yeah.
And like not that there was like, we were like, that was our idea. It was just like there is so much content made around the tattoo space and being a tattoo artist that it's like, well, what can we add to the conversation that isn't just like you're just
Overdone?
overdone.
Yeah.
It's like oversaturated, you know, like
Yeah,
you're not
definitely.
really adding anything, and like it's not really gonna get views if it's just the same old thing.
Yeah.
So it's like might as well get it out while we're ahead.
Yeah.
And just like let
We're
the
ahead of the
rest-
game.
Yeah, let the rest of the world like do their thing and
Yeah.
like add their content to the mix and their commentary. But like I think we
had a good
we
run.
left at a good time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We got some really good niche ones in.
Yeah.
Like one of my personal favorites to this day is still the one where we made your face blue. Have you ever been tattooed and you've seen your tattoo artist get stencil on them and they have like blue on their face? Usually clients don't tell us.
Yeah, it's inevitable, but like
Yeah.
please
Just tell us.
Please tell us.
But yeah, so we made a joke of like people not telling us, and if you see the TikTok, maybe I'll like post it around here while we talk about it. But Molly's face gets more and more blue and no one's telling her. And then we started using, I think it was from that TikTok where no, I don't think it was, but we started using the word cum slut a lot.
Yes.
There's like hidden cum sluts in like each
like
TikTok.
Easter egg, like cum slut. Just
Yeah.
like sometimes it's really obvious and it's like but like sometimes it's just like in the background or it's like a little hint.
Yeah.
It's kind of like fun. So if you never noticed that, you can go back in the videos like maybe you shouldn't because they're so old and like, embarrassing. But you can go back and like that's a little hidden thing that you can see. Maybe it'll boost like views and our content.
We'll come back
on social media. Like,
it'll make a comeback for us. Of doing TikTok. I can't do any more TikToks. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I think the you turning blue was my favorite one.
Yeah.
So what do you think your favorite TikTok is that we made?
Okay, so the one that comes top of mind is one that actually didn't get that many views. I think it wasn't like the most popular out of all of ours, but it's the one that like sticks out in my memory the most. And it's just because I couldn't get through my fucking lines.
Yeah, it was a struggle.
It was a struggle.
Even for the rest of us. There was like 4 of us there that day doing it, and like someone was always laughing.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
We had to keep cutting because even if I was delivering my lines, like my eyebrow and lip would start quivering and then someone would start laughing and then we'd have to start from the top. But the premise of the video is pretty much how hard it is to pull a straight line. And so we took, I think it was either a dagger or a sword, which has a lot of straight lines. And I'm the tattoo artist and I'm sweating, but I had to look extra sweaty so it get picked up on camera. So I remember we put Vaseline on my face and sprayed water on my face, which is like a fucking textured nightmare.
Yeah, disgusting.
And then we put a glove full of water under my toque and it would slowly untie because it was just twisted and water was just trickling. Trickling is like the main word in that sentence because the sensation was insane. Like, you know when a raindrop drops in your head and you can feel it going down your skull?
It feels gross.
10 times.
Yeah.
That. And it would just, my toque was soaked, my shirt was soaked, my face was soaked, and we had to probably do, I don't know, 15 takes, which meant 15 gloves of water. So that one like sticks out of my head because we just had like such a good time filming it. Yeah. And it was like the camaraderie of like, we have to do this, guys.
Yeah, we were laughing so hard at all that water like dripping down your face constantly. I think the bloopers ended up better than the actual like TikTok just because we were laughing so hard. Yeah. And every time like you tried to grab your toque so that the water would fall, but the glove would like fall down your face or like it would just kind of like be stuck.
The movie magic just was not happening.
No. That was really fun. I look back at our like TikTok era and it was a lot of fun, but it was time to quit. I thought one funny thing that Molly and I got a lot was being compared to Gilmore Girls, which was really strange. Always in the comments, at least each TikTok had a comment of people being like, you guys have the cadence of people talking like they do in Gilmore Girls, or like they always called you like Rory and me Paris, which like kind of insulting. Because of just like our characters we'd put on.
You're just that direct.
Yeah, which, I mean, true, I am a little direct. But for like Molly, you would get called Rory.
It's just wild to me because I don't.
And Rory sucks as a character.
Yeah.
So.
And like if I like ever hear my voice and play it back, I feel like it's like kind of nasally, but I don't hear Rory.
No, but they were saying the cadence.
Yeah, maybe, the way that I deliver.
Yeah, I think it's how we're delivering lines. Maybe we have watched too much Gilmore Girls, so our acting is based off of that.
That's true. Or our acting is so basic that it's comparable to Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like a really weird, just constant comparison to that.
That was like a surprising one.
Yeah. And then lots of like, you know, I don't want to read lots of comments all the time. People were mostly nice, I'd say. We were very lucky on TikTok where people were kind and just being like, haha, relatable stuff, or sharing their stories even. Nothing was ever really like mean to us, which is like, holy crap, we pretty much like escaped unscathed. The only time that it was like mean was I remember we made the red flags of tattoo artists. We didn't even use pronouns. We literally just said they, them for tattoo artists.
And I think we were like really focused on that. Like when we were like talking about like, oh, okay, we'll say this, we'll say that. We were like focused on the fact that we weren't singling people out because like we didn't want to get fired at. And then also it's like unfair to do that online. Yeah. But people still...
They just associate it with men, which says a lot about your problems is that you associate it with men. We did not put men as the red flag tattoo label. I even I remember people were like, you dress like a man. I was like, homie, I'm in what I wore to work.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put on an outfit. I was in a baggy t-shirt and jeans. They're like, you dress like a man. I'm like, no, I'm dressed like me.
Yeah, totally. And people still were like, you're trying to single men out. And it's like, well, if you have that assumption based on what we're saying, then it's probably something to do with what people have dealt with before in the past.
And if I'm speaking from experience, I'm just gonna say a lot of the horror stories I have heard are from mostly men tattoo artists.
Yeah, totally.
So it's, if I'm doing a scientific study for statistics, I think it's kind of obvious. But we're not here to hate on men. Men are still great. I know lots of male tattoo artists and I love them and they're talented.
100%, yeah.
There's so many great people, but there's some bad eggs. But that's like in any industry, there's gonna be bad eggs. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, in anything there's gonna be like horrible shit that happens, but like we weren't trying to single anyone out.
No.
But if that's the only like bad comment that we got, then I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, we did good on the TikTok. Yeah.
I just want to say
Earthquake! Yeah.
Don't bring it up.
There was an earthquake today.
There was an earthquake today.
While we were all tattooing, there was an earthquake.
Literally shook.
Yeah, I was like in my chair tattooing. I'm like, am I moving? And then I looked over at the plants over there and I was like, there's an earthquake happening.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And I think everyone kind of like stopped and looked, and then it was like done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was quick.
Oh shit.
If you are in the Vancouver or British Columbia region, let us know if you felt that earthquake. It was today on Friday, the 21st of February.
The 21st of February around 1:15 p.m.
Did you feel it? We felt it. We all felt it here.
It was insane.
And this building is old, so it like swayed. Yeah. I swore. We felt like a sway of this gosh dang ghost building.
Wild. And like, I was wondering, like, I know Marilyn had just started tattooing, so I wasn't sure if she had like needle on skin. I think Jess was tattooing and you were tattooing. Mm-hmm. I was sitting in the break room with Karma talking when I felt it, but I was curious if it like impacted anyone's like lines or anything.
I was detailing, so I was fine. Okay. I was doing a little like shading, so I was totally fine.
Yeah.
Back to being earthquake. Don't know how we got there.
Yeah.
Instead of now being TikTok stars.
Oh shit, we're jumping back. Okay.
Yeah, we're going back. We aren't TikTok stars anymore.
No
we're
longer.
Just some tattoo artists. You've been tattooing for how long now?
Well, I'm almost a year out of my apprenticeship. I think around March 15th was like the end of my apprenticeship last year. So like 2 years, I'd say 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any horror stories yet?
Just like a couple interesting stories. Like I don't have anything too crazy. Like oh my God, I totally forgot.
Okay.
Okay, so. Okay.
Because we had someone who almost passed out in the studio today.
So it
was a wild day. We had an earthquake. We've had someone almost pass out.
It was a weird Friday. There was like a ghost situation earlier with the camera.
Yeah, there's always a ghost situation with the camera. This is also our second time filming this podcast because the file's just corrupted.
Yeah, so if you got drawn in by a mukbang, that's not happening if you haven't figured that out yet.
We must look very different from that mukbang.
No food in front of us.
Right, forgot about that.
No food, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, okay, so your story
my crazy story that today's almost pass out client reminded me of at our old location.
You guys want to cut for a minute?
So my crazy story that today's events at the tattoo studio reminded me of was at stop, Sap.
Sorry, go on. I'm just not gonna look at you.
Okay.
At our old location, what happened?
Okay, so at our old
this bitch.
It's the sweat situation all over again.
What happened at our old location? Everyone's
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I want to know what happened at our old location.
Ollie, stop edging me.
Okay. So I remember tattooing. There was a day where you weren't there. So I must have been like probably a year into my apprenticeship. Things were going smoothly. I felt comfortable to be tattooing on my own. And I remember, I think Jess was there, or Jess had just gotten there or was just leaving. Like she wasn't like fully in the like tattoo mindset. Like she's kind of doing her own thing. I had a client, I prepped her, I made sure she ate like a good amount of food, stenciled her, and she had gotten tattoos before, so she knew what to expect. But like as always, as you taught me, I always like do a single line and then check in with the client to make sure they feel good. So I do the single line and I look at her, and I had just been chatting with her. It was like a totally normal conversation. And then I do the line, it's a totally normal line. I look at her and like her face was ghost white.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, are you okay? Like, are you doing all right? And she's kind of giving me one-worded answers, and her eyes are kind of glassy. And I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like, this is the first time I'm experiencing this. But like, just from like life experience, I know what it looks like before someone like passes out or is sick.
Yeah.
So I was like, uh-oh. And then, so I turn my machine off, I put it on my cart. I like am kind of looking for Jess, and then I like look at my client because their needs come first. So like I was like, are you good? Do you need to go to the washroom? Do you need anything? Do you need like a glass of water, like some pop, some sugar? And she's like, and I can start seeing her head do this kind of thing, where she's like on a ship kind of, and like just bobbing, and I'm like, fuck, like what do I do? Like, I don't want to get up and leave and then her pass out while she's on the chair and like lose her like body, you know?
Yeah, because a lot of people, their first reaction when they are starting to feel faint is they want to get up.
Yeah. So like I was like, and she's like, I feel like I'm gonna be sick. And then I like call for Jess, and she like comes like around the corner and she pokes her head around, and I'm like, do we have like a bowl or something? And I'm like, I don't think we have bowl, like, why would we have a bowl somewhere, like, unless it's for, like, a party, like, if we're having, like, an event. I'm like, I don't know where those are. And I'm like, oh, my God. And then just like, so she starts looking around. And so I get up, and I'm like, just give me a second. Like, I'll be back in a minute. And she's like, okay. So I beeline to the back of the studio. I grab, our disposables, like, for the needles.
A Sharps container?
A Sharps container, like a clean one, obviously. I grab a Sharps container because it's the only like thing that would hold vomit. Yeah. So I was like, I go and I grab it and I bring it to her, and she's like sitting there going like this, and then in the meantime, Jess went and got out like a wet cloth, like a cold cloth, and like put it on her head. I put the bed back. But by the end of the day, like I was able to tattoo her. She like she bounced back. Okay. She was drinking like a juice, and I was like, oh, like good, you're drinking something with sugar in it. And I look at the label, it's sugar free, and I'm like, no,
you need sugar.
I like gave her a pop. I gave her like a granola bar, and she kind of came back too, and she like rested enough, and I just kind of like sat and chatted with her and like let her take her time that she needed. Yeah. But we got the tattoo done, and then it was like all good, but it definitely gave me the like little adrenaline rush that I wasn't prepared for that tattoo. But
you get a pretty good adrenaline rush when people are close to fainting.
Totally.
I've had a few situations, obviously, over the many years of tattooing, but I remember, I don't know if I've even told you this story. It was my first year of apprenticing. I was probably like 5 months into apprenticing, and I had only tattooed myself, like friends and family. I hadn't tattooed clients yet, but my mentor was like, you're doing a flash day.
Oh shit.
This is gonna be your first like tattooing people day. They're gonna be $25. You're gonna do flash. And I started at 9 a.m. and I think I finished around 10 p.m.
Oh my God. And sorry, how far in were you?
5 months into tattooing.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So they were $25 flash. It was a Canadian flashy, like Canada Day. And I remember it was a girl I worked with at a restaurant because I was still also serving, and she came in, and it was like the tiniest little maple leaf, like probably like the size of a toonie. Oh, yeah, a toonie. A toonie. It was on her ankle here, and it was just like a few lines, and we started doing it, and we're talking the whole time. She had a friend with her, chit-chatting, talking about work and all that kind of stuff. And I go to do literally the last point in a leaf, and her foot like jerks back like this, like she's like retreating it from me. And I'm like, why is she suddenly like moving her foot away from me, like without telling me to? And I look up at her, her eyes are fully rolled back, her face is blue, and she's convulsing and going, And no one had told me about people fainting. So I was like shocked. I was like, and I look at her friend and her friend's just like stunned too. So she was like having a seizure.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there staring, and I'm kind of like, I'm not holding her down because you're not supposed to when someone's having a seizure, but I'm just like kind of holding her leg and just being like, it's okay, like not knowing what to do. She finally comes to, and she like starts to get like, she goes from like blue to green to like kind of a white to like back to like a beige tone. And her eyes finally, like from rolling back, they were white. And they close, and then they open, and she's like, where am I? And I'm like, you're at the tattoo studio, like, you were getting a tattoo, I don't know what happened. And she doesn't know what happened, and I'm like, has this ever happened before? And she's like, no, and she has tattoos, like she has quite a few.
Oh my God.
She said she once fainted randomly, but she's never seizured like that. And so that was like, okay, we're in. So luckily I was with other people, like everyone was still at the studio at this point, so they just kind of like helped me through it. But yeah, that adrenaline rush of someone like fainting on you is terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm really good now. I've dealt with a lot of it. I know what to do.
You like see all the warning signs.
Yeah, you see the warning signs now.
If someone looks like they're starting to get clammy, or like their skin temperature changes drastically, like if they get really cold, like while you're tattooing them, that can be a sign.
Yeah, they start like not answering fully, like properly sentences. Like I just noticed like, oh, okay, yeah, that person is about to, they're gonna go.
Yeah.
I had this one experience again when I was an apprentice, and we had a guest artist there, and he was tattooing this one girl. And it was just a tiny little wrist tattoo. And all of a sudden, she was sitting in a chair like this, and she just like fully went back and just peed. And we were like, and we felt so bad, obviously, right? Like she's fainted, and like it's just like going down the chair, and we're like, grab a mop, like we're like trying to like hide it right away. And the poor tattoo artist guy, because he's so stunned, he's sitting there with his machine like this, and he's just watching, and like pee is hitting his shoes. And he's just like stuck. He's not moving. He's like this the whole time. And there's three of us, and we're running, we're grabbing the mop bucket, we're cleaning up around her, and she comes back, and we're just like, hey, just so you know, like we're like trying not to make a scene. We're like, you've peed yourself, like if you want, go to the bathroom and like clean up, like we'll grab you a drape sheet and everything to wrap around yourself. Like you don't want to embarrass the person. No, like it would be such a bad situation.
Yeah, and they're already embarrassed enough.
Yeah,
right? like you don't want to just start laughing. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I still
Poor girl.
Yeah, I still feel bad. She didn't finish the tattoo. Obviously, she left immediately as soon as she was like safe to leave. She left. You know, we need to know if people have ate for a reason. A lot of it is like your adrenaline is going when you're about to get tattooed. If you have a low sugar, like you can also just get dizzy, faint. So there's reasons why we tell you to bring food.
Have like a full breakfast or a full meal right before your tattoo, no matter what part of the day you're getting your tattoo. Like full breakfast, full lunch, like hearty meal.
Still bring snacks, still bring drinks. Like we do, and I feel like every tattoo shop should start offering this, but we have like pop, Gatorade, granola bars, chips, like just in case, because sometimes too you don't think of it and you're like, oh shit, I didn't bring anything. So a tattoo shop should have your back and make sure that you're gonna be taken care of. I think it should just be part of it.
Yeah, and I think like 7 out of 10 times I've like offered a drink, one of those drinks, like a sugary drink, or even just a water, or like a snack to my clients when they've like walked in. Like when they're doing their consent form, I'm like, we have all these snacks in this basket, you can take whatever you want. Do you need a drink or anything? And like sometimes they like scoff at me and they're like, oh, like no, like I'll be fine. Like I ate breakfast. And I'm like, well, like it's 1 p.m. Have you eaten lunch? Like, but whatever, like it's their choice. Like they have autonomy over their bodies. They don't have to eat. But then like usually about like an hour and a half into the tattoo, they're like, oh, like, can we take a break? Which is totally fine. You can take a break. And then they ask for a granola bar. And I'm like, yeah, this is why we offer it. Like, you don't have to feel weird or bad for taking it. We have bowls and baskets all over the studio for that reason. Like,
just full
please help yourself. Take care of yourself so like we can do a good job and like everyone's happy with their tattoo.
And we don't have to worry about if you are or are not going to faint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've experienced people puke on themselves, people fainting. When I was getting my back tattooed, the artist was telling me he had someone who also brought like 3 friends for some reason to his appointment, and he ended up passing out and also wetting himself. And a hero of a tattoo artist, let me tell you, he told me what he did was took his green soap bottle and sprayed him in the crotch and was like, oh, sorry, I hit you in the crotch with that when he came to, so it didn't look like he wet himself, and his friends couldn't make fun of him.
Oh my God.
I was like, that's such like smart and quick thinking.
Yeah.
Because I would be stunned. I grabbed a mop. So I wasn't that stunned. Yeah, you can just prepare so much better now for tattoos. There's even like numbing cream now, but I mean like big.
Yeah, big topic.
Yeah, numbing cream is a big topic, which we can get into.
Yeah, let's do it.
So numbing cream, it's a big subject now in the tattoo world.
It is.
I
Some
think
people hate it.
some people love it.
Yeah.
But I think you need to know what numbing cream is okay, what is not okay, what is your artist okay with. Like you shouldn't be out there just buying your own numbing cream and putting it on and not telling your artist. It's a big no-no. Because there's some numbing creams that we don't like or approve of.
Don't go to AliExpress and buy numbing cream.
No.
Why would you buy anything on AliExpress?
I've had AliExpress numbing cream on me.
On you?
Yes, on me. Yeah, I had it. I was getting my lower stomach tattooed, and we did the outline. It was pretty spicy on the lower stomach, I will say. I thought because that's like my squish, I was like, no problem.
Easy.
No, felt like my guts were getting like a knife stabbed into them. She's like, do you want numbing cream? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then she puts it on, and I was like, well, what brand is this? I asked after it's already on me. She's like, haha, it's from AliExpress. And I was like, no way. Because we have like lidocaine regulations in Canada specifically. I don't know about the rest of the world, but we can only use 5% lidocaine in anything that is sold here. We don't know how much lidocaine was in this, but I couldn't feel anything. She was taking like an 11 meg, which is 11 needles spread out like this, and shading in my stomach, and I couldn't feel a thing. I couldn't even feel, because usually with numbing cream, you can kind of still feel the pressure of the needle. Yeah. It just takes away like the bite, but this, I couldn't feel any pressure. And I didn't like that though. I was like, oh, I kind of wish I knew what numbing cream was on me before it was in my guts and in my bloodstream. And she had she told me a story because she had lent that numbing cream to a friend who was getting a neck tattoo.
Jeez, I'm so nervous.
So this friend wanted to use it for a neck tattoo. She was getting the front of her neck. So she applied it to her neck, saran wrapped it, went to go start the tattoo, but it had numbed past and into her esophagus, and she couldn't feel her tongue because it also went up and numbed her tongue, and she couldn't swallow because she couldn't feel anything. So she had to like go over a toilet and just let saliva come out of her mouth. I know, disgusting. And she's telling me this while she's tattooing me, and I'm like, I feel ill. This is on my stomach, by the way, still.
Yeah.
And so she ended up having to go to the emergency and just waiting for it to wear off. But like, she could have choked on her spit.
Jesus.
Because she couldn't feel anything. That's terrifying. So let's make sure.
Yeah, long story short.
Use the right percentage of lidocaine in a numbing cream, which is 5%.
Yeah.
That's more than enough. What we recommend is applying it an hour and a half before your tattoo appointment, and then a half hour again before the appointment. And you always want to saran wrap it really tight. You don't want air to get in there. And it's just going to take away the bite. It's not going to take away the full pain of a tattoo, but it just kind of helps.
Yeah, like especially for a long session, it'll like help you get in the door, you know, and hopefully not like twitch and move, so it'll make our job easier as well.
Yeah.
But like just rely on what your tattoo artist is recommending, because like I've heard from other artists like yourself saying that like sometimes it can cause the skin to get extremely rubbery, and then it's like the needle and the ink is just bouncing right off of you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sit under the first layer of the epidermis there.
Yeah.
And you know, also respect if the tattoo artist decides they don't want you to use numbing cream at all. Some artists are still just against it, and that's totally fair.
Yeah, or just don't know enough about it and aren't comfortable with using it on your skin yet. You know, months after they say no, be like, yeah, I'm good with numbing cream. They just haven't experienced what it's like yet, and they just haven't educated themselves. But like, that's not a bad thing. But yeah, I just hate seeing like when these tattoo artists are like, you have to earn the tattoo, you have to sit through the pain, and it's like...
But what if someone sits better because they have a bit of numbness going on?
Exactly.
It's great. It's knowing and being like learning the lesson of how to use it, when to use it. And also, you know, I've had clients, I'll even ask them, and some of them don't feel comfortable. And that's also totally fine. If a client doesn't want numbing, I'm gonna respect that as well.
Totally.
It's everyone's like consensual choice if they want to be numbed or not.
Yeah.
But then there's this newer thing, which
Can you guess?
I'm sure many of you have seen it, which is being put under for getting tattoos. It's definitely like a rich celebrity thing. Like there's what's that one that got blacked out? He got his arm and chest blacked out.
MGK, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, he got I think his chest and arms blacked out while under anesthesia, right?
Yeah, it's like he got most of the tattoos covered, just like full blackout.
Which, okay, maybe this is my little bit of old schoolness coming out, but like, come on. Like, that's when I'm like, earn the tattoo.
We draw a line there.
Yeah, like you should not be getting put under
Just
to get a tattoo.
Safe. Like,
and it's not. It's been proven. A little bit of a trigger warning here, but someone did die from being put under anesthesia for getting tattooed. They were in Brazil. Yeah. They were put under. They started getting tattooed on. They went into cardiac arrest, and they passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And for a tattoo, that just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah. And like that wouldn't happen in like I don't think a proper medical space where anesthesia is being used properly and administered by a professional.
Definitely. You don't need to for a tattoo.
No, like
it should never happen in a tattoo.
Yeah.
And you also don't have doctors to save you if that does happen to you.
That is true.
Yeah,
as
especially
Nev,
if you don't have a team.
Yeah, Nev pointed out behind the camera, there's no doctors on site to save you if you are in cardiac arrest.
It's not gonna save your life.
No, as a tattoo artist, I have my bloodborne pathogens.
Yeah.
I know minimal.
I'll grab a Sharps bucket.
Yeah. I will try and do CPR from what I learned in a 3-hour video of my bloodbornes, but I am not a doctor. I can't save you. If someone is going into cardiac arrest, I'm not gonna know what to do.
And like maybe the people who are like super rich, like athletes and like musicians, movie stars, maybe they do have a doctor on site.
Yeah, I think numbing cream is a good enough line to draw it at. We don't need to be put under to get tattooed. And maybe if you need that, maybe you just shouldn't get tattooed.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much pain they're in when they wake up.
Yeah, what a weird sensation.
The people that like have like 2 artists on them, they're put under and their entire back, arms, everything is getting tattooed, like full line work, full color, full shading.
Or a full blackout, like
or a full
MGK
blackout
got.
In like a single session. You'd have to be on like a morphine drip for like hours, if not like an entire week. I don't know, like as you're coming out of the anesthesia and you're healing, like your body would just go into shock. Like how, and then also like, how is someone's body up to healing that much all at once? You'd get sick. Like people get tattoos like sick.
Oh, tattoo sickness is a very real thing.
From like just getting like their back done.
Hi, I've had the tattoo fever twice.
Yeah.
And it's 24 hours, like a normal fever where your body is going into shock and trying to like heal. And I was so like, it was a fever. I was ill. And same thing with my thigh piece that I got in Japan. I was ill and it healed like crap because like my body was like, you got a tattoo this big that is 12 hours long. It's a huge open wound. You're not gonna be able to heal that well. There should be also time limits on tattoos because your body, it can't take it.
Celebrities are known for not having great tattoo taste and they just want to have a big old tattoo piece, but like
right away.
If you zoom in on some of those tattoos that celebrities have, it's like
a lot of them.
Yeah, why?
It's like, because they just expect to get tattooed right away from whoever. Like it's the demand.
They just want to look heavily tattooed without actually caring about how the art looks.
Yeah, which is like the demand that they expect, because if they're handed everything, they're gonna get it. Though, you know what? If Ariana Grande came up to me and wanted that Evie tattoo, I'd be like, it's 2 a.m., I'm doing it. Like, I would sell out. I can't say anything.
No anesthesia though.
No anesthesia.
Numbing cream.
Yeah, numbing cream, depending on which one.
Yeah. Ariana, we got a full tube of Zenza for you. Don't even worry about it.
So another thing that can be used in numbing cream is actually for laser tattoo removal.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't, personally, I don't find it worked because I had Zenza put on my kneecap when I got laser removal. and I still felt all of it. I think it helps a bit after because it burns.
Right.
Some people blister really bad from laser removal.
Yeah.
And it kind of just helps take that sensation away while like you're going home and healing in a sense from the laser. But I wonder if Pete Davidson used numbing cream for his whole torso.
Oh shit! I wonder if he got put under.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if any of you have seen in the tattoo news, but Pete Davidson is like naked baby. He's got no tattoos anymore. He had
Naked mole rat man.
Yeah, we'll put photos of a before and after here of what he looks like now. I don't even know what brand it's for, but it's for some laser tattoo removal where he used the advertisement of like how you can look and how well it works. He looks like he has none.
Yeah, I think it was like estimated, or he admitted he had paid like $200K.
Yeah, $200K.
For all of his removal, and his whole body was tattooed.
And he's like in underwear showing off that he has no tattoos anymore. He even had like on his ribcage big black keyhole.
Yeah.
And it's gone and it hurts. I wonder if he was put under or if they used numbing on him.
Yeah, I would assume people would be getting put under for laser because
that much laser too?
Yeah.
Well, it's not too bad with laser. You don't.
Because you're not healing the skin, I guess.
It's just breaking down the particles under. Yeah, it's during. So I understand again if rich celebrities were like, I'm gonna get like him, my whole frickin' body, I'm gonna get put under while they just laser all my skin.
I haven't gotten any done before. Have heard from you and like countless other people. It's horrible.
It is. Okay, so Diva gave us the fact that it's been a year-long process for Pete Davidson.
Okay.
Years? Oh,
Years.
Plural.
Oh,
Years-long
years.
process. Which makes sense because you do also need to wait about 3 to 6 weeks before you can do another session because that's how long it takes for the ink particles to break down in your bloodstream. So what it is doing, this knowledge I do know, is that the laser is hitting underneath, it's breaking up the ink that's sitting underneath your skin, and then it's going into your bloodstream and flushing out. So literally when you take a poop, you're pooping out your tattoo.
Yeah, it's going through like your kidneys and everything.
Yep, it's breaking down the tattoo. But that's why you need multiple sessions, and that's also why they turn up the laser each session.
Okay, yeah,
Which
that makes sense.
sucks. It sucks when it starts to get turned up. It's so spicy. Love your tattoos. It freaking sucks.
Yeah, just get blast-overs.
Yeah, black out your arm because that's so much easier. I use numbing cream for blacking out my arm, by the way. I am not tough enough to black out my arm without it.
We're not against lasers, but like pay your tattoo artists to do blast-overs.
Yeah, also just pay your tattoo. Well, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand. You get laser, your skin's nice and clear again, and now a tattoo artist can do something cool over it.
And something you love even more.
Yeah, because our frontal lobe is fully developed now, and now you actually know what you like.
Yes.
So I notice a lot of these kind of places where celebrities are getting tattooed like crazy and everything is New York. And New York is a weird little beast for the tattoo world.
Yeah?
I think I've shared this story with you before, but I'm gonna say it again anyways.
Perhaps.
So I had never been to New York and I was actually offered to do a guest spot there from this studio. I won't say its name, but they had reached out to me and were like, do you want to guest here? And I was like, oh yeah, and I actually knew the artist.
I thought you were gonna go, yeah.
Yes. I had known the artist before and they were really popular when they were in Portland, and their studio I had seen online, it was beautiful. I was like, yes, I'd love to guest at your space.
Good opportunity.
Yeah, and I was already gonna be in Virginia for a convention, for a tattoo convention.
She's a world traveler.
Girl. And so I was like, okay, I can go from Virginia, take a train up to New York and do this guest spot. So it was all planned out. They had emailed me a few days before I was in Virginia and was like, hey, you know, you need to charge our New York prices, which is $400 an hour. And I was like,
and what year was this?
2018, 2019?
Goddamn.
Yeah, so I can only imagine what they're charging now.
Yeah.
But they told me that and I emailed back being like, you know, I'm charging $150 at this point hourly. I don't feel very comfortable with that. Can I charge $200?
Yeah.
Like meet you in the middle kind of deal. And they're like, no, this is what people pay in New York. This is what you'll charge. And I was like, okay. And I was already pretty booked up at this point too. Like I had already made announcements I was gonna be there. People had reached out. I was pretty fully booked for this guest spot. And so I'm in Virginia, do the tattoo convention. I'm on the train to New York and I get an email from the assistant being like, hey, we need to cancel your tattoo guest spot.
Oh my God.
I was scheduled to be like tattooing there literally the next day. And they didn't say why or any reason. And I'm kind of in a panic mode.
Yeah.
I'm in a different country. I have like 5 tattoos of people
are
booked.
like relying on you, and you don't want your name to get like soured because
Yeah.
of like a studio canceling on you.
Yeah, and luckily, you know, the tattoo world, you find your connections online and everything. And I reached out to this artist that I knew was living in New York and was like, do you know any studios that I can quickly guest at?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, this one's really great. And they told me to go to this one. It's called Black Iris Tattoo. It's no longer a shop in New York, but it was amazing. It was such a cool studio too. And they were like, yes, you're more than welcome. We have a spot for you. I was like, thank you so much. And when I got there, they're like, you're not the first that they've done this to.
Jeez.
We have had many artists that they get to like promote their studio, act like you're gonna come guest there, and then they cancel them last minute.
Damn.
And apparently, when they moved from Portland, 'cause I found out they got kicked out of Portland, like because they had such a bad reputation, that when they went to New York and tattoo shops were like, welcome here, they were like, we're better than all of you. Like, we're gonna tattoo rich, like Nepo baby, celebrity style.
So they like priced people out.
Yeah, because they
And
wanted
then-
a certain clientele.
Yeah.
And so
God, that's kind of gross.
yeah, it was really gross. And they used like tattoo artists to promote their thing, be like, oh, these well-known tattoo artists are coming to our studios.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of the tea from this other tattoo studio who just was like, it's a good thing you didn't guest there, because also that could have, you know, also hurt my reputation. If I had gone there, people could have thought I'm a snob.
Yeah.
But again, if Ariana Grande came there and I got to tattoo her, that would have been sick, just saying. But I'm really glad it worked out the way it did.
And like probably like a silver lining thing, like
definitely.
you're glad that you didn't tattoo there. It might have been like weird and like pretentious.
100%.
And then you got to meet like good tattoo artists,
down
in a
to earth
different-
people.
different tattoo studio, but like they probably like let you know where to go and where to eat.
They actually took me out after work, even though I was like dropped on them, and they're like, we're still gonna like treat you to like a fun time in New York.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. And especially like I already felt uncomfortable after like the price like gouge. Like I was like, I don't want to charge that. I feel so uncomfortable. Like, how am I gonna tell my client, you know, that I'm tattooing for 3 hours, that now it's like, what's 4 times 3? What's girl math?
$1,200.
Yeah, $1,200 back in 20. I still don't even charge that much, not even close.
That's crazy.
Not in this economy, especially.
No.
We'd be hurting out here.
Yeah, we don't want to price people out.
Yeah, we want people to get tattooed, because
Yeah.
you are now, where I was in this time of guest spots was such a like indulging thing. Like everyone wanted you to come to them and get tattooed, and it was such an amazing time, where you're on the other side of it, where you have tried to guest and it's backfired almost.
Yes. Last year, like around this time, I started trying to like book some guest spots, and you know, I wanted to dip my toes. I was like finished my apprenticeship, and like I wanted some experience at other studios and like experiencing different places. Well, I did like a little tattoo tour with you. That was my first time ever doing like guest spots, and it was like a perfect situation for me to try it out with Sav. I mean, like we're close and we're friends, but she's also my mentor, so it was great to go into those spaces with her and have like a buddy.
Well, I feel like also too, tattooing, like going in and doing guest spots feels like your first day of work every time. You're coming into other people's workplace and everyone knows each other and is like tight knit, and you're like, hi, I'm new here.
Yeah.
And so it's intimidating.
Totally. But like when it's tattooing and you're so new, it is a different experience.
And some tattoo artists, like, you know, the little bit of ego, or they have like the I'm the cool tattoo artist like vibe. It's
totally.
even more intimidating.
Yeah.
I still get that way.
Sometimes you go to a studio, but then there's like a mean artist or like someone who snubs you or something. But I've never had those experiences. Every time I've gone somewhere, it's been nice. But anyways, so like the tattoo tour that we did Nanaimo and Comox, I believe, just those two, right? And then after that, I did my own little tattoo tour. It was while we were transitioning from our old space to our new space, so we weren't really like, we didn't have anywhere to really work. So I was like, okay, I'll fill up my calendar at other tattoo studios and like meet new people. Great opportunity. Not necessarily. I booked a spot in Vancouver and Victoria.
Squamish too.
Yeah, I booked a spot in Squamish as well. So like kind of all over the place, but like lots of good experiences and like a way to like spread my name. But like, I'm not gonna drive into Vancouver and like sit around and be like a freaking thumb in someone else's tattoo studio waiting for walk-ins. But they were like super nice, and they even like kind of explained to me like, we have lots of artists in our space that aren't getting booked either, and like we have artists that are coming in because they regularly host guest spots. They said a lot of the people that have come in recently and are booking out in the future aren't booking. So I think it was just, you know, an oversaturation in Vancouver for
Especially
that instance.
in Vancouver, yeah.
And then also like, I don't have a massive pull because I don't have a huge following. So it's not like I'm also from outskirts, so I'm not that far from Vancouver. So it's not like people are like, oh shit,
Gotta get one.
Molly's going to Vancouver. So my other two experiences were pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
So that was nice too.
Yeah.
Building connections with other artists are important as well, not only just clientele in other cities, because like then you can host them if they want to come check out your studio, or like just connections when you see people at conventions. And then my Victoria spot was sweet too. I ended up being able to stay there for an entire weekend. I was booked all 3 days, and I stayed with like someone who actually stayed at our studio before. So she's like a friend of the studio. Her name's Sim. If you're in Victoria, definitely get tattooed by her. She works at Ophedia in Victoria, and so that's where I guested. She put me up for the whole weekend, and it was like a beautiful experience.
Yeah, that's I think the best thing to take from it is the connections you still get with other tattoo artists.
Yeah.
I've made lots of cool friends around the world at this point because of just getting to hang out with them in their studios, or them coming to us.
Totally.
Which is really cool. And same thing, like we have lots of guest artists that come here too, but even lately, like we have some really well-known tattoo artists coming to our space, and they're struggling to fill those spots when they're here and tattooing less. It's just a tough time for tattooing. You wanna play footsies?
Oh my God.
Distracted. It's interesting. It's such a different world compared to when I started, compared to when you started.
Yeah. Like it sounded like the gold rush when you started.
It was a gold rush. Yeah, like we would tattoo, we'd get there in the morning and you could tattoo till like 10 p.m. no problem. People would be walking in off the streets just wanting tattoos. It was such a different time, where now like we're posting on social media, but also social media is kind of backfiring on artists. Again, you need to be like a social media star, like we talked about,
or
for like your shit to get seen.
Know what the algorithm's doing. Like,
I have no clue.
It changes every single week. Do I post a reel? Do I not post a reel? Do I schedule the post? Do I not schedule the post? Do I use these keywords or do I not use keywords?
Do I show my face?
I think hashtags have been out for more than a year, but like, do I add them?
I still do. I'm
like,
so behind.
I don't know. Like, it's hard. Like,
yeah. It's like going from such a big boom to watching everyone kind of in the struggle bus together, at least, which is nice. It feels good to struggle all together, because it's like, it's not just me. I don't have to take this personally. Everyone's hurting.
Yeah.
But it's also a little scary.
It is, like, especially I think saying in my position is maybe like a harsh way of stating it, but like someone with my level of experience, which isn't that much, seeing other artists that have much higher levels of experience still experiencing like not as many bookings, cancellations, rescheduling, getting booked, but only getting booked for smaller projects because that's all their clients can afford. It is kind of like, you know, did I make the right choice getting into this career? Because like, obviously there's a love for the art, but it's also like, holy shit, like I have to make this work. And like, if you love it enough, you're gonna make it work. You have to have that determination.
I also love money.
It pays the bills. Like, I don't know, maybe you said it and that's where I've heard it from, but like some tattoos are just money makers. Like,
I've definitely said that.
like, yeah, like this tattoo is a rent payer, not like, not for myself, like not fulfilling entirely to myself. Like, you're obviously proud of your work, but like, it's the rent payer. It's not something necessarily gonna showcase and be like, I wanna do this all the time.
And it's still gonna make you a better tattooer because it's something you might not do, but that means it's a challenge.
Totally, yeah.
And it's gonna just make you hone in on your skill. So you're never above anything, no matter like how long you've been tattooing for.
Yeah, even if you have a niche, like if you're able to deliver something that's outside of that, then like it just makes you, like a more full, like well-rounded artist.
But that's why I'll never be on Ink Masters because all I draw is anime and they're gonna be like, do a grandma in a hyper-realism portrait and I'm gonna be like, anime grandma?
Mima, grandma,
Nanny?
Mima, anime?
And they're gonna be like, you're out. Maybe that's what I need to do though, to get back to being like popular, is go on Ink Master and just like sell my soul.
You might be onto something.
Or I go on there and troll.
Yes.
And then I'm known for the troll and people come in my comments and they like wanna hate view me, like Love is Blind shit.
Boost it.
But still people will wanna get tattooed by me because they're like, yo, that's that troll.
Yeah, but look at her anime tattoos.
Yeah, but they're really good.
Sick.
Yeah, so
don't get her to your hyper-realism Mima.
or do in an anime style. It could be pretty cool.
It could be pretty cool.
If there's anyone
Mima with her tits out.
leave Mima's tits alone.
Mima with her booty hole out.
Leave her booty hole alone. If there's anyone from Ink Master who is watching this, I am available. My email is in the link. So you can email me. I will come on Ink Master and make your show more of a dumpster fire than it already is.
Fucking shot fire.
I don't like it. Well, okay, I don't like the old one. Yeah, and fire explosions, the like sunglasses fall onto my face. But you know what? If it also gets me Ariana Grande to get tattooed, but she's watching me on
Sav wants to
TV.
get Ariana Grande in the
I would
door.
take anybody. I would take anyone at this point.
Ariana Grande's manager, second cousin.
Honestly, I'd take anyone who just has money.
Yeah, that's fair. Wouldn't we all?
And you know what else helps get us money is if you subscribe and you comment and you like, because we enjoy doing this podcast. It's actually really fun. It's fun to do this podcast.
It's so much fun.
But the more you interact with it, the more we keep doing it. And ads, baby. Thanks for watching the ads so that we can monetize off of this.
Hell yeah. We be yapping anyway, so might as well put it on the internet.
It's true. We got lots to say. We're not done here. You'll be back.
We're never done.
I hope you feel like you are part of our little cutie tattoo group.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I hope you invite me back.
I don't know. Huh?
No, she invited them back. I don't think she invited me back.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just be right over here on my station.
Yeah. So thank you for listening, watching Tattoo Cuties. Please watch our vlog as well. I always be vlogging. I'm always doing stuff. I can't stop. I can't stop.
Make.
Because I need that money.
Another day, another dollar.
And if you actually want to see us mukbang,
maybe tune into the next one.
yeah, maybe leave a comment. Maybe if we get X amount of likes, if we get...
I think they already got the money shot of the Coca-Cola coming out of my nose. Though.
Yeah, I want that in slow motion. I will do that in slow-mo
Right
myself.
now.
Now. Anyways, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tattoos Cuties, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that was better than the last one.
I think it was better than the last one too. Felt good. Cool.
I think we made them laugh.